कृपा करी चित वही जेहि।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम।
राम सिंधु खन सज्जन धीरा।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम।
चंदन तरु हरि संत समीरा।
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम।
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 जय सिया राम। जय जय सिया राम।
जय सिया राम। जय जय सिया राम।
जय सिया राम। जय जय सिया राम।
जय सिया राम। जय जय सिया राम।
जय सिया राम। जय जय सिया राम।
जय सिया राम। जय जय सिया राम।
जय सिया राम। जय जय सिया राम।
जय सिया राम। जय जय सिया राम।
जय सिया राम। जय जय सिया राम।
जय सिया राम। जय जय सिया राम।
बोलिए राजा रामचंद्र की जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। Devotional listeners, now I humbly request your full attention. Cell phones often become a distraction, so would you please check yours to make sure it has been turned off. Thank you. This evening, I would like to start off with a question which is often asked very often, and that is, why do good people seem to suffer so much in life, whereas bad people seem to prosper? Why do bad things happen to good people and good things happen to bad people? Now, when we look at a person, we look at him or her, we have a limited knowledge of how that person is. We get a basic idea. This person is good, and we make our judgment. This person is good. This one is not good. But first of all, God knows who is good, who is bad. And in fact, don't we all have good and bad both inside of us? There is goodness inside of us, and there is evil inside of us. There's good and bad both coexist within us. Sometimes we're doing the right thing, sometimes we're doing the wrong thing. Sometimes we're loving the world, sometimes we're loving God. So we're a mixture, a combination of good and bad. Also, when we say that this person is good and he's suffering so much, why? Then we're looking at one lifetime. But God, who is always fair, God is never unfair. He looks at the countless previous lives of that individual. And God is always fair. Let's say there is a person who is very strong and he's tormenting the weak one. So the weak one says, all right, you may torment me here, but when this matter goes to God, then God will give the right decision. And our matter will go in the highest court. It will go to the court of God, and God will give the right judgment. When a wealthy man is tormenting the poor one, then the poor man says, Seth ji, that you are tormenting me, but God will decide. God will give the final judgment. He will punish you for your wrongdoings. So we have faith that although people in the world may be unfair, and they often are, but God is never unfair. He always does what is right. So when we say good things are happening to bad people, bad things are happening to good people, we perhaps don't remember that God is looking at that person's countless lives. And countless times this person has done good things. The one we call good, he has done countless good deeds. But he has also performed countless evil deeds. There is no person who in previous lifetimes has not been a sinner of great proportions. There is no one who has not committed the gravest sins, such as murder. Today he's a good man, but he has been bad also in the past. And God does not look at one life. God looks at countless past lifetimes. He looks at the whole thing. And the one we are dismissing as a bad person has been very good also. He has been a devotee of God also. There is that part. That part is also true of him. We just say he's good or bad, but it's not like that. It's never like that. God is looking at this person and saying, you are doing the wrong things right now, but you've done lots of good things also. So when God gives us the fruits of our actions, he doesn't give the fruits of the actions we are performing right now. Not only does he give us the fruits of actions that we are performing at present, he's also looking at the previous lives. And we have no way of knowing what we have done in the past or what anyone else has done in the past. Yesterday, I believe I told you the story of Dhritarashtra, who asked Sri Krishna, what did I do to deserve this? That I had 100 sons and not a single one has survived. Each and every one of them is dead. Every one of them died on the battlefield. So what did I do to deserve this? And Sri Krishna said, do you mean to say that you have committed no sins? And Dhritarashtra said, in this life, no sin. In the previous life, I also remember no sin. The one before that, I had committed no sin. And before that, Sri Krishna asked. And Dhritarashtra said, I don't remember any more lifetimes. So Sri Krishna says, how can you ask this question? What did I do to deserve this? But isn't this a question we all ask? What did I do to deserve this? I shouldn't be suffering like this in life. I shouldn't have these hardships. I shouldn't have these challenges in life. I'm a good person. I'm a helpful person. I'm an honest person. I don't cheat anyone. I don't lie to people. I'm a good person. We have no recollection of our previous lifetimes, but we do know in the present life also, in this life that we're living, we have, even though we know we're doing good, we're also doing the wrong things. There are 3 types of karma. The word has come into the English language, karma. You've heard it, karma. In North America, this word is a buzzword. Oh, karma, karma, karma. Karma. 3 types of karma. Sanchit, prarabdha and kriyaman. Sanchit karma are the accumulated actions, and there are countless actions we have performed in our countless lives. Bear in mind, these are the actions we have performed every time we were born human, because you'll remember and you know that the lifetimes we have lived in the body of an animal, insect, bird, or a tree, or even a devta, those actions do not matter. We do not get fruits of those actions performed in those species of life. But every time we were born human, and we were born human countless times, we have performed countless actions. And also, May I remind you that in the eyes of God, actions means thoughts. The moment we think something, God notes it down as an action. But I didn't really go through my plan. I was just thinking it. I was thinking of killing him. God says, I'm going to give you the fruit of that action. But I didn't really go and do that. No, but you thought it. You had this idea. You had this venom inside of you. You have such nasty thoughts about this person. And even in the world, isn't it true that we look at intention? There's a thief, and in the dead of night, he's looking at a locked door. There's a big lock. And so he understands that the family there's nobody at home, nobody inside. So he's trying to pick the lock. He's looking at it very carefully. And a policeman comes and says, what are you doing here? Oh, I was just admiring this lock. You see, I have a hobby. I collect locks. And I was looking at this lock, and it's fascinating. It's a wonderful lock. Indeed, you were checking out locks. Come with me to the police station. But I didn't do anything. I didn't steal anything. I didn't break the lock. But you had the intention of doing it. You had the intention of doing it. So come along with me. So even in the world, we see that he didn't go through it, but he thought it, and he was now in trouble. So God considers our thoughts to be actions. So there are countless actions of the past known as sanchit karma. Sanchit, accumulated actions. Now every action must bear fruit. Avashyameva bhoktavyam kritang karma shubha shubham. Every action, every deed, good or bad, will bear fruit. The Ramayana puts it like this. Karam pradhan vishwa kari rakha, jo jas kariya so tas phal chakha. As you sow, so shall you reap. Good actions beget good results, bad actions, evil results. Punyena punyalokam nayati papena papam ubhabhyameva manushya-lokam. This is a verse from Prashnopanishad, the Vedas. And this verse means that by performing virtuous actions, you will be sent to the virtuous abode, Swargalok. For performing sinful actions, you will be sent to Naraklok, the hellish abode. And remember, I was telling you yesterday, there are 7, I believe I was telling you yesterday, there are 7 Swarga, 7 heavens, and 28 hells. So it's 4 times as many hells as there are Swarga or heavens. And if you perform a mixture, a combination of good and bad actions, then this verse from Prashnopanishad says, you come back to the material world, this world, in various forms of life. In various forms of life. So the sanchit karma, every time we are born human, God takes some of those sanchit karma, some of those actions, and gives us those actions that now you will reap the fruits of these actions. Now, many of those actions are good, many of them are bad. Many of them are devotional actions also. And this is why we see that one single person, don't go far, look at yourself. We look at ourselves and we find, yes, I as an individual, I'm a mixture. In Hindi, there's an expression, khichdi pakana. You make khichdi, because you put rice, you put dal, and a mixture. You put some vegetables in there too. Mixture. I'm a khichdi. Combination of good actions, evil deeds, and devotional actions as well. So, these are called prarabdha karma. Prarabdha. In English, we call it destiny. Oh, it's my destiny. I have bad luck. I don't know why God gave me this destiny, we say. But destiny, what is destiny? Purva janma kritam karma taddaiva miti kathyate. Hitopadesh says, actions performed in the past, when they bear fruit, they're called destiny. So sanchit karma are accumulated actions. Some of those are given to us And now that becomes our destiny because we are going to reap the consequences of those actions. So that becomes our destiny. And in Sanskrit and Hindi, we call it prarabdha karma. Prarabdha. Then there is a third action, which is kriyaman karma. These actions are the new and fresh actions we are performing in life. God always gives us a chance. All right, in your previous lives, you didn't do much good, you didn't do much devotion. You can catch up now. Now you're a human. I'm giving you an opportunity to practice devotion. I'm giving you an opportunity to mend your ways. I'm giving you an opportunity to improve your condition. So these are new actions, fresh actions. Kriyaman karma. So now we have three kinds of action, three kinds of karma. Sanchit, prarabdh, kriyaman. So we are all reaping fruits of our previous actions, and side by side we are performing new actions. That will become our destiny in the future. God is the only one. God is the only personality who knows each and every action of each and every individual being. God is the only one who can keep accounting of this proportion, which is unthinkable by human mind. It's unthinkable. It's impossible. But God is the supreme being who can make the impossible possible. Kartum akartum anyatha kartum samartha. He can do anything. He can undo everything. He can do everything upside down. For instance, the Ramayana says, Binu pag chalai sunai binu kana, kar binu karm karai vidhi nana. Anan rahit sakal ras bhogi, binu vani vakta bad jogi. Tan binu paras nayan binu dekha, grahai घ्राण बिनु वास असेखा. अस सब भांति अलौकिक करनी, महिमा जासु जाई नहीं बरनी. Binu pag chalai. He walks although he has no feet. Sunai binu kana. Without ears, devoid of ears, yet he hears. He hears the footsteps of a little ant. He hears everything. Without hands, he performs all works. He has no sense organs, yet he performs the function of every sense organ. He has no nose, and yet he is able to smell fragrances. He has no tongue, yet he is able to taste delicacies. Asa sab bhanti alaukika karni. Everything about him is divine. Mahima jasu jai nahi barani. His glory cannot be fathomed. We cannot imagine the greatness of his glory. It is unlimited glory. So God is the only being, the supreme being is the only one who can keep track of each and every action, in other words, thought, of each and every individual soul. When is this, God thinks, when is this child of mine going to be deserving of the human birth? So then that child of God is given the human form of life. Yes, he has been in the form of a dog and a cat and a donkey and a monkey and a fish, a horse. And now he has been punished enough for his actions. Now, because of the devotion he has done in previous lives, I must give him the human form. And this is why we have all ended up with the human form this time around. Because we became deserving of it. Bade bhag manush tanu pava, sur durlabh sad grantha nigava. Kabahuk kari karuna nar dehi, det ish binu hetu sanehi. Ramcharitmanas. Tulsidas ji says, on the one hand, oh, it is your great fortune, it is your destiny. You were destined to become a human. Bade bhagya, destiny. So you have practiced, performed actions, as a result of which you are now born human. But in the same scripture, he says, no, it is with the grace of God that you have attained the human form of life. So we read the Ramayana, but we don't catch this discrepancy. Tulsidas ji is not here, so that we may ask him, what did you mean by making these two contradictory statements? So did I receive the human form of life because I have done actions that made me deserving of it? Or did I get it purely as the grace of God? You have made two contradictory statements. So Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, my Gurudev, has explained so easily that, look, that is true, that you have performed actions due to which you have attained the human form of life, but your actions cannot convert themselves into reactions, can they? We perform actions, but who is giving us the fruits of those actions? We don't even know what actions we have performed. We don't have the ability to convert our actions into reactions. So we perform actions, and then God comes in. The causelessly merciful Bhagwan Sri Ram comes in and gives us the fruits of those actions. And this is why Tulsidas ji says, you have performed such actions that have given you the human form of life, but those actions were taken note of. God took note of those actions and gave you the fruits of those actions, so it is really the grace of God. How beautifully that is explained. But we read the Ramayana, we recite it, we sing it, but we don't catch these contradictory statements. So, God gives us the fruits of our actions. So there's prarabdha karma, which are the consequences of our sanchit karma. Now, only God knows when to give us when to give the soul a human form of life, when to send someone to Swarg, when to send someone to Narak for a limited time, both places, they're for limited time, and when to send someone to his divine abode. So we wonder, this man, he has cheated so many people. He has done so much harm to so many people. But look, he's thriving. He has so much money. And then he won the jackpot. He doesn't deserve to win that jackpot. We have these questions. But when we ask such questions, we are doubting God. No doubt we need to understand the answer to the question. But if we say this is not fair, God didn't do the right thing, it means we are doubting God. Whom are we doubting? God, who is infallible? Due to lack of understanding, we think God is being unfair. But there is never unfairness in the court of God. In the highest court, in the divine court of God, there is no unfairness. So God gives us the fruits of our actions. And then when we see someone thriving, we say how happy he must be. But we're not able to look inside his heart. We're not able to look in his mind and find out how happy he is. Oh, he's thriving, he has so much money, so much fame. And the person who is being envious has no idea that the one who he is envious of is popping sleeping pills at night. He cannot sleep. He has a personal physician. He is such a rich man. He has a personal physician, and he begs his personal doctor, give me some injection, give me something. I cannot sleep at night. I cannot sleep at night. He is known to millions. When people chant his name, oh my God, he's come on stage. Do you know what? I saw him from a distance. I'm so lucky. And this person, this man, he doesn't feel so lucky. What is he thinking to himself? I wish I could just go shopping to a mall like everybody else. I wish I could go grocery shopping just like everybody else. Sri Maharaji was telling us that we have an ashram in Mussoorie. Our ashrams are largely in Uttar Pradesh. So Mussoorie is in the foothills of the Himalayas. And there's an ashram there. Now there. So Sri Maharaji, we were there in the summer. And Sri Maharaji was saying that Indira Gandhi's daughter, Priyanka, she had come once to Mussoorie, and there were so many preparations made, so much police, so many cars. It was a madhouse. And then Indira Gandhi's daughter, Priyanka, a granddaughter, Priyanka, she said, she gave an interview and she said, I never had a childhood. I never had a childhood. Because there was always restrictions, there was always bodyguards, police. I never had a childhood. I did not do what other kids are able to do. So we are envying them, and they are envying us. A common man envies the wealthy one. The wealthy one thinks, I wish I could just go without people flocking around me. If I have to go and I don't want to be recognized, I put on my sunglasses, my hat, I put on some disguise, and even then somebody looks at me and I walk away. This is their life. And we are looking at them saying, how lucky. I noticed that when in the US, when Mr. Barack Obama, when he became president, and people noticed that he had black hair. And by the time his term was over, he had all gray hair. And he said once, jokingly, had a good sense of humor, he said about his wife, Michelle is the same, but look at me. Oh, he's a president of the United States. But no matter what he does, he's going to be criticized. Some people are saying, wow, he's a great president. Others are saying, death to him. There's always bodyguards, this and that. So it's a weight. It is a burden. So someone asked him, are you able to drive? He said, no, I don't drive. I can drive, but I cannot. He said, once I just started driving, and the security was in full force, and they said, stop, sir, get out of the car. So he cannot drive. He cannot go undetected anywhere, and we think, wow, how blessed he is. How blessed they are, how fortunate they are. If we could enter their mind, we would say, I don't want this. I don't want this life. I do not want this life. If you are super wealthy and someone tries to befriend you, you think, I doubt you. I don't think you want to be my friend. You're being friendly towards me for my money. I know it. You cannot trust anyone. So we say, good things are happening to bad people. We have to think, are those good things that are happening? Because now, I will quote the Bhagavatam, and there's a verse in the Bhagavad that says, Bhagwan Shri Krishna is saying, look, these are the indications of my grace. Deshatyago Mahan Vyadhir Virodho Bandhubhi Saha Dhanaha Nirapamanancha Madanugraha Lakshanam. You are suddenly ravaged by, your body is ravaged by disease. You lose all your wealth. Your family members and friends turn against you. They don't want anything to do with you. They don't want to see your face. You are being insulted everywhere. What would you say to that? How unlucky. Shri Krishna says, these are the signs of my grace. These are the indications that I am gracing you. Because then, Shri Krishna says, then when friends and family they don't want anything to do with you, you will come towards me. You will come to your senses. Your pride will take a beating. You have no money left, you will become normal. And you will come to me. In other words, we have no idea how God graces us. We think God graces an individual by giving money, name, fame, status, this and that, popularity. But God is saying something totally different. Now, I don't want you to think that Bhagwan Sri Krishna is saying, I deliberately give illness and I deliberately take money away. These are fruits of the actions of the individual. But Sri Krishna is saying, if these things are happening to you, consider them to be my grace. These are signs of my grace. Because when there's so many people around you and they're saying, oh, you're so wonderful, you're so great, and they are your, in Hindi we say chamche. They're just hangers on, they say yes, yes, yes to everything. They're your yes men. And they will leave you when they cannot get what they want from you. It's like a tree laden with fruits. The birds come uninvited. But then there are no more fruits left on the tree. The birds fly away. The tree says, come back, come back. We will come in a few months when you have fruits again. In the same way, we are with you because you have money, so maybe you'll pass some our way, my way. I am with you, I'm your friend, because I want something that you have. Perhaps it is knowledge. Perhaps it's not something like money, but maybe it's knowledge. Maybe it's your popularity, but I want to be with you. Bhagwan Sri Krishna says, and when you have all that you cannot look towards me. When someone becomes super wealthy, that person loses a sense of reality. Is there any sense in building yourself a home that is 50 stories high and you have 500 cars and you have 1,000 servants? Is there any sense in doing that? And I'm sure you'll agree with me, no, there's no sense in doing that. You have a fleet of cars. You have so much money. But you didn't give it out to the poor and the needy. You built a house so that people will say, that is the wealthiest man in the whole of the country. In the whole country, he's the richest man. So he has this house, this mansion to show for it. It is so high. It's like a big apartment building. And there's a helipad on top, so helicopters can land there. And there are slums nearby. And people in the slums are thinking, lucky man. So first of all, when we say good things are happening to bad people, do we really understand what good things are? And undoubtedly, we think this person has gotten a great job, good money, this and that. But Sri Krishna is saying the opposite. We must think about that. What Sri Krishna is saying. And bad things are happening to good people, then is it really bad then? And then again, it's all fair because even the person we call good has done a lot of sinful deeds. And the one we call bad, the one we have labeled as a bad person, evil person, has done a lot of good. We have no way of knowing, but we should trust God. God knows what He is doing. So before I go on to the next question that people generally ask, I would invite you to come to do a kirtan. Let's all do a kirtan. This one has some words that I'll explain. Shri Radhe, Prem Agadhe, Shri Radhe. So Radha Rani, she is the same as Sita, she's the same as, and Radha and Krishna are one, just as Sita and Ram are one. But she's the mother, the divine mother. Shri Radhe, Prem Agadhe. You are the ocean, unlimited ocean of divine love. Gati, meaning the way you walk, your gait. Gati Gajigamini. Radharani walks she sways as she walks, and her walk is very graceful. It is like the walk of a she-elephant, very graceful walk. Gajigamini. Chavi, the beauty, Abhiramini. She's very beautiful. She has unlimited beauty. Tum Mama Swamini. O Radharani, you are my Swamini, I am your servant. Sang Braj Bhamini. You are accompanied by gopis of Braj. So if you could just say this after me. Prem Agadhe. Gati Gaj Gamini. Only some of you are saying it. Chavi Abhiramini. Tum Mama Swamini. Sang Braj Bhamini. Thank you. Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe, Prem Agadhe, Shri Radhe.
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 Prem Agadhe, Shri Radhe.
Prem Agadhe, Shri Radhe.
Prem Agadhe, Shri Radhe.
Prem
Everyone please sing and clap.
Shri Radhe.
Prem Agadhe, Shri Radhe.
Prem Agadhe, Shri Radhe.
Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe, Prem Agadhe, Shri Radhe.
Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe, Prem Agadhe, Shri Radhe.
Gati Gaj Gamini, Shri Radhe. Chavi Abhiramini, Shri Radhe.
Gati Gaj Gamini, Shri Radhe. Chavi Abhiramini, Shri Radhe.
Gati Gaj Gamini, Shri Radhe. Chavi Abhiramini, Shri Radhe.
Gati Gaj Gamini, Shri Radhe. Chavi Abhiramini, Shri Radhe.
Chavi Abhiramini, Shri Radhe.
Chavi Abhiramini, Shri Radhe.
Chavi Abhiramini, Shri Radhe.
Chavi Abhiramini, Shri Radhe.
Gati Gaj Gamini, Shri Radhe. Chavi Abhiramini, Shri Radhe.
Gati Gaj Gamini, Shri Radhe. Chavi Abhiramini, Shri Radhe.
Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe, Prem Agadhe, 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 Shri Radhe.
Prem Agadhe, Shri श्री राधे।
प्रेम गाथे श्री राधे,
प्रेम गाधे श्री राधे।
प्रेम गाथे श्री राधे,
प्रेम गाधे श्री राधे।
प्रेम गाथे श्री राधे।
तुम मम स्वामिनी श्री राधे, संग ब्रज भामिनी श्री राधे।
तुम मम स्वामिनी श्री राधे, संग ब्रज भामिनी श्री राधे।
तुम मम स्वामिनी श्री राधे, संग ब्रज भामिनी श्री राधे।
तुम मम स्वामिनी श्री राधे, संग ब्रज भामिनी श्री राधे।
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 श्री राधे श्री राधे।
श्री राधे श्री राधे।
श्री राधे श्री राधे।
श्री राधे श्री राधे।
तुम मम स्वामिनी श्री राधे, संग ब्रज भामिनी श्री राधे।
तुम मम स्वामिनी श्री राधे, संग ब्रज भामिनी श्री राधे।
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 राधे 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 राधे राधे।
राधे राधे राधे।
तुम मम स्वामिनी श्री 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 राधे।
राधे 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 राधे राधे।
राधे राधे राधे।
राधे श्री राधे श्री 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 राधे।
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 राधे श्री 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 राधे श्री राधे।
राधे राधे राधे।
राधे राधे राधे।
राधे राधे राधे।
राधे राधे राधे।
राधे श्री राधे।
राधे श्री राधे।
राधे श्री 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 राधे श्री 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 राधे श्री
राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
श्री राधे श्री राधे प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
श्री राधे श्री राधे प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
श्री राधे श्री राधे प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
श्री राधे श्री राधे प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
गति गज गामिनी श्री राधे
गति गज गामिनी श्री राधे
छवि अभिरामिनी श्री राधे
छवि अभिरामिनी श्री राधे
राधे 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 राधे राधे
राधे राधे
राधे
राधे
राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे
राधे श्री राधे श्री 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 राधे
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे
राधे श्री राधे
राधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
श्री राधे श्री राधे प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
श्री राधे श्री राधे प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
श्री राधे श्री राधे प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
श्री राधे श्री राधे प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
प्रेम अगाधे श्री राधे
बोलिए राधा रानी महारानी की जय। I would like to address not a question but a confusion that is often in the mind, and that confusion is about who Radha is. Who is Radha Rani? We just chanted her names, and I think if we I believe that if we understand the importance of Radha, then we would sing with a lot more devotion. We would then adore her. There's a lot of confusion and a lot of misconceptions about who Radha is. Growing up, I know that when I saw pictures of Radha and Krishna, I didn't know anything. Then you hear people saying, oh, Radha was the biggest, the greatest of all gopis. The gopis, the milk maidens of the village, who loved Sri Krishna like no one ever loves him, no one has ever loved him, the greatest devotees, the gopis. And so many people put forth their view that Radharani is the biggest gopi, the greatest of all gopis. Sri Krishna loves her the most, she's the one who loves him the most, but she's a gopi. And many people wonder why it's not Rukmini Krishna, why is it Radhe Krishna? Why is Radha's name before even Krishna's name? That doesn't make sense, they say. So who is Radha? Utsarjane cha ra shabdo, dharane poshane cha dha. A scripture named Yoga Rahasya says, Radha, made of 2 syllables. Ra, meaning the entire creation. Dha, the one who creates, nurtures and protects and destroys countless worlds, countless universes, is known as Radha. In other words, Radha is this same definition is given of God, Brahma. So Radha is God, Radha is Brahma. Gopi is a devotee. Gopis are not Brahma, gopis are devotees. But Radharani is not, she is the Swamini of the gopis. She is the supreme goddess. The Vedas had a question, and that was, Shri Krishna is the ultimate reality. Why should Radha be worshipped? This was a question. And an answer was given to them. They wondered, who is Radha? And the answer was given to them. Internally, they received the answer with the grace of Sri Radha and Krishna. That Radha is the Supreme Personality. Yasya renum padayor vishwabharta, yasya anke vilunthan, Krishna devo golokakyam, naiva sasmara dhamapadam sansha kamala, shailaputri shaktidhatrim namamaha. Radha Tapani Upanishad. Radha is the Supreme Personality in whose head Shri Krishna places his, in whose lap, Shri Krishna places his head, and while resting his head in her lap, he forgets everything. Even his divine kingdom, divine abode, Golok, is forgotten by him. He forgets all else. Radha is that greatest of all personalities whose foot dust Shri Krishna places reverently on his forehead. He feels that he's very fortunate to get the foot dust of Radha. Does that mean Radha is greater than Shri Krishna? No. Both are one. Yeyam Radha yashcha Krishno rasabdhir dehe naikaha kridanartham dvidha bhoot. Radha Tapani Upanishad. This verse from the Vedas, it says that Radha and Krishna are one. Yeyam Radha yashcha Krishno. The one who is Radha is the same as Krishna. The one we call Krishna is the same as Radha. Mamaiva Paurusham Rupam Gopika Janamohanam. In one of the Purans, Devi Bhagavad Puran, Radharani says, when I assume a male form, then people call me Krishna. They call me the delighter of the gopis' hearts. Radhika, Mamaiva Paurusham Rupam, Gopika. The gopis are, he attracts the gopis' hearts. Gopika Janamohanam, the one who attracts the hearts of the gopis. He is Krishna, and when I assume the male form, I am known as that Krishna. They're one and the same. Radha Krishna yor ek asanam, eka buddhi, ekam manah, ekam jnanam, eka akriti, eka atma, ataeva dvayor na bhedah kalamaya gunati tattvat. Again, the Vedas say Radha and Krishna are one. One mind, one intellect, one soul, one everything, the same. But to perform loving pastimes, leelas, so that everyone may benefit, that one Brahma takes two forms. My Gurudev, Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, has spoken extensively about Radha Rani. And in one of his lyrical scriptures, Bhakti Shatak, Shri Maharaj Ji has said, the very first doha or couplet, 2-line verse in Bhakti Shatak is this. Advitiya ik tattva hai, Radha tattva pradhan, या को दूजो रूप है स्वयं कृष्ण भगवान. Second one, जोई राधा सोई कृष्ण है, इनमें भेद न मान, एक है लादिनी शक्ति अरु शक्तिमान एक जान. Radha and Krishna are one. In the very first couplet or doha, Sri Maharaj Ji says, Advitiya ik tattva hai. There is a personality who's unmatched. There is no one like this personality, and her name is Radha. Radha Tattva Pradhan. And another form of Radha is Krishna. Do you know that even Shri Krishna chants Radhe Radhe? Even he chants Radhe Radhe. Some people say, why do you always say Radhe Radhe? You greet people by saying Radhe Radhe. Well, even Shri Krishna greets everyone by saying Radhe Radhe. He chants the name of Radha. He feels very happy when he is chanting the name of Radha. Radha is his Hladini Shakti, bliss imparting power. And Shri Krishna is subservient to his power called Radha. If you go to Braj, if you go to Vrindavan, some of you I'm sure have gone there, there are Ras Mandalis. There are these groups, theatrical groups. And they only put on pastimes of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. And they're all boys. It's not like boys and girls. All boys. All the parts are done by boys. So Shri Krishna, Radha, Gopis, all the parts are done by boys. And they put on wonderful, wonderful leelas. When they do the Ras Leela, you will see Shri Krishna takes his mukut, takes his crown, and places it at the lotus feet of Radharani, and he bows at the feet of Radharani, and then he seeks permission. May I begin the Ras, if you permit me so? And Radharani gives permission, and then Shri Krishna performs the Maharas. Because they are performing these leelas because this is what happens in reality. Radharani is our divine mother. And how is she related to Durga and Parvati? Narad, sage Narad, he has written many scriptures. In one of his scriptures, he has explained that Radharani is the one whose partial manifestations are Parvati, Shailaputri, Parvati, and Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi and Parvati are fractions of Radharani. So there should be no hesitation in loving Radharani, adoring her as the mother, divine mother. Bhagwan Sri Ram descends to earth in the age of Dwapar as Krishna, and Mother Sita comes back as Radha. Just understand that, it's very easy. Sita comes back as Radha, Ram comes back as Krishna. There is only, after all, only one God. Eko Devaha, say the Vedas. So that one God assumes all these different forms. Now, Ram and Sita and Krishna and Radha. The difference is that Bhagwan Ram is served by Mother Sita. And here, Shri Krishna, he is served by Radha, but she is also served by him. There has been a devotee of Shri Krishna, and he was born in the Islamic faith. He was a Muslim, some 500 years ago, or a little over 500 years ago in India. And he wondered why it is that Shri Krishna is serving the lotus feet of Radha, because he says that seems to be wrong, because he thought in the Hindu tradition, it is the wife who is serving the husband. So now this is not ordinary wife and husband relationship, but this is a Shakti, the Hladni Shakti of of God. And so he wondered, there's something wrong in this. But then he, with the grace of Sri Radha Krishna, he had a glimpse of the divine Golok. He saw what was going on in Golok, in Sri Krishna's abode, and he saw that Sri Krishna is sitting at the lotus feet of Radharani, massaging those lotus feet very gently, and tears are flowing from his eyes. And Sri Krishna made this devotee understand internally that Radharani is the greatest personality who is served by even Sri Krishna. There's no time here to go into details, but I just wanted to explain a little bit about who Radharani is. So Radharani is the same as Sri Krishna. And even Sri Krishna chants Radhe Radhe. Now why not Rukmini Krishna? Many people have this idea that Rukmini is his main wife, and what happened to the wife? She has no place. And what happened to her status? She should be given, her name should be there. But who is Rukmini? Rukmini is the manifestation of Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi. Now Mahalakshmi comes back as Rukmini. Sri Krishna has 16,108 queens. 16,100 of them were princesses who had been kidnapped by an asur, a demon, Narakasur. And when they were released, no one wanted to accept them. So they all prayed to Sri Krishna in their hearts. They prayed to Sri Krishna and they begged him to accept them. So he accepted them, because it is his eternal law that ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham, Bhagavad Gita. That he loves the individual soul in the same way, in the same proportion as the individual soul loves him. So they were calling out to him, he accepted them. And then there were 8 others, Rukmini, Satyabhama, Lakshmana, etc. And as you may know, Rukmini had written a letter to Bhagwan Sri Krishna. She wanted him to kidnap her because she did not wish to marry anyone else. And so Sri Krishna fulfilled her request. So Rukmini is Mahalakshmi. But Mahalakshmi is very majestic. There's Aishwarya. Mahalakshmi is full of majesty. And when she comes as Rukmini, she is the wife of Sri Krishna. In Dwarika, Sri Krishna is the king and he has these wives, the queens. And the main one is Rukmini. But Rukmini has this pride subtle pride of being a wife of Sri Krishna. She thinks, I am his wife, I have full access to him anytime, all the time. So, Patni Bhava Bhimanatva Gunadi Shravanadija. In a scripture called Ujjwal Neelmani, it is explained that there is a little tinge of pride of being the wife of Sri Krishna. And so in Radharani though, there is no such pride. No such pride. And her love is the greatest of all because her love is completely unselfish. And I will tell you that through a story. Once in Dwarika, Lord Krishna was often lost in the thoughts of Radharani and the gopis. And once when he was sleeping, he was saying Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. He was uttering the name of Radha. And in the morning, Rukmini ji questioned him, who is this Radha that you are remembering? And Sri Krishna tried to hide everything. He said, no, my dear, I was not saying Radhe, I was saying Adhe, Adhe, Adhe. Adhe meaning half. That without you, my Ardhangini, my better half, I am incomplete. And yet Rukmini ji did not believe him. She said, no, who is Radha? And he used to remember the gopis. So who is Radha? Who are these gopis? So then she had a chance, Rukmini ji and the other queens had a chance to meet with Radharani. There were many tents, there was a festival, there were many tents pitched on the bank of the river, and Radharani was in one of the tents, and Rukmini went to see her. And Rukmini ji offered Radharani a glass of milk, which was, she didn't bother cooling it. She just brought it, it was very hot. And Radharani is very humble of nature, she's very innocent, and she drank the milk. And then Rukmini ji left, And when she went into her own tent and Shri Krishna was there, she started to massage his lotus feet. It was night time. And then she was alarmed to see great big blisters on his soft lotus feet. And she was alarmed and she asked, "But Prabhu, how did this happen?" And Shri Krishna said, "You gave hot milk to Radharani. It was too hot to drink." And Rukmini knew in her heart this was true. She thought, yes, it was too hot. I didn't bother cooling it. But you see, my lotus feet dwell in the heart of Radharani. When you gave her milk which was too hot to drink, then it made that heat, the hot milk, has caused these blisters in my feet. And when Rukmini ji heard this, she started to cry. And she bowed down to Radharani's greatness. That I always wondered why he always remembers Radha. Now I know that her love is completely selfless and she is the most unselfish devotee of all. My devotion is not as high as Radha's. And once Sri Krishna pretended he had a headache that just would not go away. He was a king of Dwarkadhish. He was a king of Dwarika. And he acted as if he's going to die from this pain. He said, "Main to mar gaya, main to mar gaya." And his wives came running, the queens came running. What happened? What happened? And they tried many ways to relieve his headache, but it would not go away. And so then they were nervous. What will happen? And all of a sudden, Naradji came. And they said, "Naradji, please go see what is going on with our husband because he has a severe headache." Naradji went to Sri Krishna and said, "Prabhu, what kind of Leela is this? This is your pastime, your Leela. What is this all about?" Sri Krishna said, "Narad, I don't know what you're talking about. I am dying of pain and you're thinking about Leela? All right, Maharaj, this headache is your own creation. So you please tell me what medicine will work on this headache." Sri Krishna had to admit then, well, the medicine that will work is foot dust of a devotee. Scrape the devotee is walking barefoot. We all walk barefoot. So scrape the soles of the feet and the dust from there, even if a few particles are there, bring that to me. I will put it in my mouth and I'll be completely cured. Naradji thought, I'm a devotee, I'll give my foot dust. Then he thought, no, I've been fooled by him too many times. So he went to the queens and they were horrified when they heard this. Naradji, we respect you, but we think you've gone out of your mind. We are his wives. How can we give the dust of our feet for him? We will go to hell for all eternity. And what will people say about us? No. So Naradji went back and said, Maharaj, my lord, this headache is of your own creation. You've told me the medication. Now please tell me the pharmacy where I can get this medication. Who will give me this foot dust? Shri Krishna said, the gopis will give you. The gopis are the maidservants of Radharani, and even they're so selfless. We'll find out. Naradji transported himself to Braj. He went to the gopis, and as soon as he had told them what was going on, all the gopis sat down and they spread their feet and they said, Naradji, take as much dust as you want. And he said, are you not afraid of what people will say? You gave your foot dust to the Lord? They said, we don't care. We don't care about public opinion. What people say of us, we don't care about that. Are you not aware that you'll go to hell for this? They said, we've been there many times. Hell, we've all gone to hell countless times. We'll go there once more for him. That's our privilege. So Naradji brought the foot dust back and Shri Krishna was fine. And the wives of Shri Krishna, Rukmini and others, when they found out, they were very ashamed of themselves. We didn't give our foot dust, and look at these gopis. These gopis are the maid servants of Radharani, so you can imagine the greatness of Radharani herself. So when you hear the name Radha once again, or you hear Radhe Radhe, it's nothing strange. In Vrindavan, if you go to Vrindavan and vicinity, everybody will greet you by saying Radhe Radhe. It's nothing new. Everyone will say Radhe Radhe over there. Because even Lord Krishna chants the name of Radha. So who is Radha? I've given you a brief introduction, but the true way, the genuine way to find out who Radha is by loving her, by calling out to her as your Swamini. I'm your humble servant, you're my Swamini. I am your child, you're my mother. I am your Sakhi, you're my best friend, eternal friend. And in this way, we can understand fully who Radha is, and only through Radharani's grace. One last question I'd like to take up tonight is a confusion that, again, a lot of people have. And just before I came here, someone asked me, could you please talk about this confusion? What is the confusion? And this devotee said, I myself was very confused until I came to know. About what? About a guru. Who is a guru? Don't I know who a guru is? Perhaps we don't know. We need to find out what scriptures say about a guru. Now, being Hindus, we've definitely heard the word. We have accepted guru. We say, yeah, of course I know who guru is. But let's see if our understanding matches with what the scriptures say. What do the scriptures say? They define the word guru. Gum rauti iti guruhu, grinati jnanam iti guruhu, girati ajnanam iti guruhu. Guru is the one who shatters the ignorance you've had for lifetimes, and he gives you true knowledge of God. He's the guru. Gu shabdastandhakarasya tru shabdastannirodhakah andhakara nirodhitvat gururityabhidhiyate. Dvayopanishad says, Guru is a short word made of two syllables, gu and ru. Gu means ignorance, darkness, ignorance. Ru means remover. One who removes the ignorance from the mind and fills that mind with knowledge of God is the Guru. All right, that's the definition. What are the qualifications of a Guru? You know, there are many people in small villages, in rural places in India and elsewhere, they might put a board outside their house saying, doctor, no? Doctor so-and-so. But are you a doctor? Well, I know more than the rest of the villagers, so they come to me for medical advice, so I'm a doctor. But you're not a qualified doctor, are you? No, everybody says I am. It doesn't matter, but you're not a qualified doctor, are you? No. Guru, what are the qualifications of a guru? I can call myself a guru. You can call yourself a guru. You can wear a yellow kurta, put a big tilak on your head. Wear this dupatta. Keep a few people with you. They call you Guruji and you're Guru. I was going to a city in the US, and when I went there, I was asked, and most of them were white folks in a community, and they were a meditational community, and there was a gentleman who asked me, Didi ji, how would you like us to advertise you? And I said, I don't understand that question. They said, well, you know, anybody who comes through, they either are advertised as the Divine Mother, or or something like that. So would you like to be advertised as the Divine Mother? And I say, excuse me? No, just give my introduction, that's all. I don't want to be advertised. They said, it's all in the advertising. And I said, even if it's false, I'm not going to fool anyone, I'm not going to cheat anyone. So I don't need any such introduction. It was quite shocking. I'm sure it's shocking to you too. You can be known as the Divine Mother. I was so-and-so in my last life, and there is someone going around in India. She'll wear red sari. She has a little trishul, mini trishul, because the big one would be too heavy to carry. There's a mini trishul there, and dressed up as the Durga Mata, and then everyone found out that this was just a hoax, that she was actually a seamstress who had a pretty face, and they said, okay, we can do something with this. Wear red, so your fair complexion will look really good. red, wearing bright red color, and you're like the mother, and then you have this little trishul, and you have this little thing in your hand, and then you go around like this, blessing people, and then how long can this last? So it all came to light, and now she's hiding all over India. I don't know where she is. But this is something I've heard. I don't know her personally, of course. But, these things happen. These things do happen. It's how you're advertised, how you're advertising yourself. Qualifications of a guru. Why do scriptures tell us? So that we may not be fooled. Qualifications. 2 qualifications. Shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Tad vijnanartham saguru meva bhigachet samit panihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Kathopanishad says that guru must fulfill 2 conditions. First one is shrotriyam. Guru is one who has complete knowledge of all scriptures. And we say, what? How can anyone have complete knowledge of? We have hundreds of scriptures in Hinduism. Complete knowledge? Not just memorize them, but he has complete knowledge, knows them inside out. How? For that, there's a second qualification he has to meet, and that is Brahmanishtam. He is God realized. He has attained God realization. He has become divine. And as the Ramayana says, Janat tumahi hoi jai. When someone attains you, Bhagwan Sri Ram, he becomes just like you. In other words, one who surrenders to God is given all the properties of God. So Bhagwan Sri Ram gives to the fully surrendered soul all his qualities, all his gifts, unlimited knowledge, unlimited happiness. So everything God has, now the saint has. The God-realized soul has that. And he is now called a guru. Now he's called a guru. He has all the powers of God. He has all the knowledge that God has. Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, my Gurudev, he never studied the scriptures. He did not have a guru. His formal education came to an end when he was about 16, 17 years of age. And yet, 500 scholars of scriptures bowed their heads before him. One of them came to the lectures of Sri Maharajji, and before he was accepted as Jagat Guru, before they had tested him, and he had come there thinking, what is this young man going to say? And he sat in the front row with paper and pen in hand to make sure he'll note down the mistakes. But he did not move his pen. His pen did not move. And he didn't write anything on his paper. The next day he was going to speak. So when he spoke, Sri Maharajji, my Gurudev, has a tremendous sense of humor. And he also sat in the front row with pen and paper in hand. I'll also jot down your mistakes. But Sri Maharajji used to tell us these stories. He said, even my pen did not move. Why? Because a scholar sat on that seat and he spoke to thousands of people. And he said, he only talked about the greatness of this young man that he's just meeting today, and that he is a divine being who has come to earth to uplift humanity. And this is before he had gone back to Kashi, and before he had told the other scholars, because there were 500 of them, this is just one. And before he had done anything, before they had tested Maharajji, he had already declared it in front of the public, that this is a divine personality. This is a guru. He has come here to enlighten everyone. And then Sri Maharajji was invited to Kashi, Banaras, and there he was tested by 500 most prominent scholars of scriptures, who were easily 70, 80, some 90 years old, who had spent an entire lifetime studying one scripture. And they listened to Sri Maharajji, and without blinking their eyes, and they said after 10 days, there is no one amongst us who is willing to debate him, to challenge him to a debate, because he is not of this world. They went to his birthplace, the tiny village called Mangar. They met with his mother. She produced his birth certificate. He was only 34 years of age. They made all inquiries, and they said, indeed, his formal education came to an end very early, and he had studied only Sanskrit grammar, Sanskrit literature, and Ayurveda. Never had he studied the scriptures. So then after 10 days of listening to his lectures, and after making sure all the facts about him were